expect running back workload right now?
You know, you really never know that until you get going with the bumps and bruises. And, you know, I think Benny, he's got to continue to just understand the offense and continue to get better. As he does that, we've got to develop that 1,000 yards that we lost. And so we'll continue to put Saeem and AJ, keep moving them up and putting them in the thick of it with the ones and the twos, and then see where Bryant Kobach ends up, because he wasn't with us in the spring. So give him an opportunity to get up there too and get some reps when you want to rest those other guys.
You have to rest Benny just for self-preservation.
I think you got to. I think the one thing about running backs is that you've got to watch them all the time. How much are they getting hit in practice? And so I really do try to manage that. There'll be some days where he doesn't get as many reps, and see how he feels, and then we'll go from there, because he's going to give everything he's got, and he's going to use that body to the fullest.
Is there any particular quality you're looking at to get out of the second guy to play alongside Benny?
Production. You know, a guy that will produce. And, you know, it's not just about running. It's about the pass protection. And that's the hardest thing, is Bryant Kobach will find out as this thing gets a little bit faster. That was the biggest challenge for Benny as well. But he picked it up. So I think that as they produce, those guys will get more playing time. AJ made a big jump, you know, from his first year to second year. And so we'll see how the improvement goes with AJ as well.
Just on, you know, social media, Benny seems to be taking any knock against him personally, maybe where he's ranked in the SEC among the running backs, or any rankings that Kentucky has preseason, takes those really personally. Do you like that sort of passion out of him? Or I know you said he's a low guy in the past, so how do you kind of characterize that?
I don't read social media, so that's news to me. I don't deal with that at all. You know, as long as it's nothing bad or anything like that, and it's about the team, and you know, I like it that if he gets ticked off because they've got us ranked somewhere, and again, it's about respect, right? So I mean, to earn respect, you got to go out and you got to take care of your business. So
I think Landon Young is ready to make the jump up for a starting spot.
Absolutely, I think we got a lot of guys like that. You know, the one thing that I talked about a week ago was competition. Coach Stoops has done a great job here going into his 5th year, and we've created competition at every position, so there's nothing locked down. I mean, you're going to have to go compete every day in practice for you to get playing time. And, you know, at the end of the day, you want those guys to, you know, make me play you, you know, show me, you know, make it happen. You know, Benny made me play him, and, you know, you could see that on film. So everybody needs to do that.
How much can those freshman wide receivers come in, push those older guys, and maybe keep them on their toes throughout camp?
Well, I think they already have this summer. You know, they see it. They see their grit and their passion. They want to play, and so you know, the consistency at that position has to continue to get better, and they know that. They've been called out, and you know, at the end of the day, I told them, you know, don't play fearful. You know, go out there and do your job, hone your craft. Get better each day. Don't worry about the past. Don't worry about the present. Really work on being centered every day and focused on what we've got to do to get done.
Talked about that he expects the running backs to have more balls thrown their way this year. Would that be consistent with what the offensive coordinator is thinking also?
Yes, it is. So he did learn something this spring. He was listening and paying attention. Yeah, we've got, you know, as you build and you continue to build in the package, and you know, and our quarterbacks finding our running backs and check downs and so forth, they should be able to have more balls in their hands, which will be good for the offense.
What you said to Drew Barker going into this camp, and what are your expectations for him, I guess, going into?
Man, just relax and go out there, and you know, he was the starting quarterback here, you know, and so I mean, that's hard to do. And you know, he got hurt, and he came back, and he got cleared, and compete. You know, compete for a starting position. I think that's the best way to say it. There's no other way. You know, the one thing about it is when you watch film and you see production, you know, you got to go out and compete. And you know, the other thing is always be ready, right? You never know. Landon Young didn't know he was going to get thrown into the fire at Florida, and you know, he was ready. You know, I don't know about mentally, but physically he got his body right, and he went out there and did a pretty good job for a true freshman. So it's the same thing at that position. He's got to be ready. If he doesn't beat him out, then when his time's called, you better be ready to go.
You've seen a lot of Southeastern Conference running backs. Does he King have the physicality it takes to contribute more than he has? I know it's just a matter of eating, but is he big enough? Is he strong enough?
Yeah, he is, and I tell you, he brings some toughness. And where he's from, in that league that he played in high school, he's got a lot of toughness. He played through some stuff last year that he was hurt, and he'll play through injury. And this is, as we had our spring visit together, and what we talked about was, it's your time. It was frustrating for him. And I said, you've got 2 years left to be a great returner, to be a third down guy, a guy that we can get the ball. He's got really good hands. But you saw in that Tennessee game, he can break a tackle, and he's tough. And yeah, do you have to watch the hits on a young man like that because he is small? But I don't worry about that with him. I think some you do when you have a small running back, but I don't. He brings the toughness.
CJ Conrad has gotten over the summer.
I'm going to say it about all of our tight ends. I think they've worked their tail off. That was a group last year that I think that had to be really selfless. We weren't getting the ball to them a lot, whether that be target throws, whether that be what we had to do to win a game. And for us to run the ball as well as we did, a lot of it was due to those tight ends. So they've really tried to hone in their craft. They've done a great job, and I'm excited. I'm excited about using them. I'm excited about them getting the ball. And so, but just to CJ, he works his tail off, but all those guys do.
Coach, when you're able to run the ball consistently, especially between tackles, Bill and I did it confident year to year with the guys we have back up front, just doing that. Do you see a difference in that, just in terms of that toughness?
Yeah, one of our core values in the program is toughness, and it's always been for me too. As when I became a coordinator, you do have to create toughness. It's the best league in the country, and so we've got to be great on the perimeter, whether it be a wide receiver blocking, up front, big men lead the way. I talk to them about that all the time. Those guys make or break I think your offense. If you're good up front, you're smart, and you can evolve quick. Then you've got a chance. So toughness will always be something that we want to have and wants to be a staple. Hopefully when people watch our offense, they say, guys, get ready. You're playing guys that are tough and they're physical, and they'll get after your rear end.
And how confident are you that Steven, some of the fumbling problems last year, how comfortable are you that he's sort of got that fixed?
Well, I don't think there's any question he's going to get it fixed because he won't be playing. And he knows that. And we put our defense in some really bad situations last year. Beginning of spring, we talked about if we just get half of our turnovers and cut them in half, we're going to be top in the league. And I think we could have won a couple more games if we don't turn the ball over. So everybody's well aware of that. We started it in the spring. You get what you coach, and that's on me. And so everybody's aware of how we have to protect the football and what we need to do.
It was a lot of his fumbling injury based.
I don't think so. It is a matter of him trying to make a play. You can't do that. At times you just got to punt. Every possession ends with a kick, right? You're either kicking a PAT, a field goal, or we punt the ball. That's how offense is. So, you got to understand when it's time to just tuck it. Or do you tuck it and try to get that extra? You know what I mean? You got running backs that try to do it. Everybody, you can't do it. There's times where when you're in traffic, you got to tuck that thing away and get down. So.
In the offseason, did you offer any kind of challenges to the receiving corps as a whole to work on coming into the season?
Absolutely. The biggest thing for us was just being consistent. Quit talking, okay, and go out and play. And, everybody's got something at the end of the spring that they had to work on. And so, hone that craft in. If it's at the top of your route, punch and pivoting. If it's, you got to catch 100 balls a day, whatever that may be. So it's natural when you go out there. If you're supposed to run a 12-yard curl, run a 12-yard curl. Don't make it 14. Be on the same page with the quarterback. And they were out there on the weekends. They were working. So they have the work ethic, and they just got to go do it. you know. So we're going to challenge them, and I'm excited to see this group. I really am. It's time, and they're tired of it too, you know. So.
In the spring, you kind of called out Garrett Johnson for maybe not elevating his leadership. And did you get what you wanted from him this summer, sort of the way you did last summer?
Yeah, he was one of those guys that was out there, you know, as we were there on the weekends and recruiting and so forth. You know, he was out there working, really doing a great job with the young receivers. All those ones that came in, he was out there every Saturday. So, you know, he does want to be that guy. You know, it doesn't matter to me if he's vocal or not. It's what you do on the practice field, you know. And so, yeah, I'm hoping that he has the message. And from what I saw, he does have that.
What do you like about A.J. Rose?
Say again, I'm sorry?
What do you like about A.J. Rose?
I like AJ's physicalness. I like that he is fast. He shows a burst that really didn't know he had. You know, and I like the way he's evolved. That it does matter to him. You know, and sometimes, you know, guys redshirt and they're not ready, whether it be physically or mentally or whatever it may be. So he just. You know, he's got a chance to run between the tackles, and he's a guy that can run outside too. You know, and so that's you know, he's learning the offense and really excited about it.
Eddie, with your running backs, if you could script a perfect scenario, would you want, like last year, 2 dynamic backs, or with 1 dynamic and 2 ankle backups, or 3 guys equally knocking it out? What's your scenario that you like?
Well, everybody gets hot. Everybody has a game where they're going. You just don't take them out. You know, it's a feel thing for me. I think that you have to in this league. I think that you're going to play 3. Just through, you got 29 days right now getting ready to start knocking the heck out of each other, and somebody's going to be out for a week because they got an ankle or they've got, you know, if that doesn't happen, that's great. But I think that if you have 3 that can produce, and what you got to make sure that from the 1 guy to the 3rd guy, you know, that you're not hurting the team. Just got to make sure that they're producing as well.
Last one. Oh, I was going to say Gunnar Hook was kind of the talk of this after the spring game. If he has to start the game, do you feel confident that he can meet your expectations if you were to, let's say, come in and start a game in case he got hurt?
Well, you know, spring game is spring game. You know, you look for that in terms of how our guys are going to react under the lights, not as a game type situation, but you're in the stadium. So I think he made that perfectly clear that he could do that. Totally different though when you get up there and you get into a game. And sometimes you don't know on quarterbacks. You know, you don't know how they're going to react. You don't know what's going to happen. So it's going to be, all of them are going to get to compete. If he wins the job, then he's our starter. You know, then he'll get an opportunity. If he doesn't, then he'll continue to get better. And then when his time comes, you know, he's got to produce.
Okay, folks, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Coach Allison, your moment there.